Imagine waking up in the middle of the night to your husband of 26 years sending a voice note to another woman, which then leads you to find out that he's been having an affair for years. Jen Hatmaker is a very prominent leader in the Christian evangelical space. The divorce of her and her husband was something that really shook the evangelical community. The memoir is basically like a tapestry of her transformation and her experiences around the divorce. She contextualizes her experience of divorce with her upbringing as a evangelical. She really talks about how her grief and her experience with her divorce really like launched her into the person that she is today. One of the big overarching themes of this memoir is trusting your body, and it's something that I actually really resonated with. Growing up as a Christian evangelical, they were largely taught to not trust yourself. A scripture that we all are familiar with if you grew up and as a Christian as well. You know, the heart is deceitful among all things. She had to start learning how to trust herself, how to be more in tune with her body in order for her to heal. She also talks about not trusting her body, not trusting her intuition, not being in tune with her body is probably one of the catalysts for her divorce. She also touches on, of course, purity culture and why she even got married at 19 years old in the first place. I also thought it was really good that she kind of took accountability for her part in the ending of the marriage. She really describes as them going through so much trauma, her husband being in a really dark space and she not really being there to walk alongside him and support him, and acknowledges that he probably felt very lonely during that season while her career kind of really took off and his was kind of stagnant. But it doesn't undercut how hurtful the divorce was and how deep the betrayal went. I really like that she gave some insights on her therapy sessions and what her friends and family did for her. She spends a lot of time talking about how her friends, her dad, were just doing amazing, awesome things to help her in the process, her and her kids. One of the conversations that she had with her friend, she was just venting and crying to her friend, and her friend sits back and just tells her this really sweet thing. It's just like little things like that, like little insights into her life that were meaningful and helped the progression of the book and really made the book inspirational without being like too self-helpy. She is friends with Brene Brown, and Brene Brown told her to read Codependent No More. She used some of the insights that she read in that book to kind of help her in her journey. She just did a really good job of telling us things like that. A book that she read and how she applied that. A conversation with her therapist and how she, applied that. If you listen to it on audio, she even has her friends read messages that they sent her to just really bring more of a dynamic listening experience. Overall, I did enjoy the memoir. I thought it was good, but I do wish she would have spent a little bit more time exploring some of the things that led up to her divorce and the things that happened within her marriage. I think that would have made it a little bit more impactful, because even though she does touch on her evangelical upbringing, I wish she would have just spent a little bit more time really giving us some more depth on how that contributed, to the divorce. The structure of the memoir didn't bother me, but I could see how it may not be somebody else's cup of tea. And this isn't a chronological tale of her divorce and the aftermath. It's just several vignettes of her life before she was married, giving us more insight of her childhood and also, after the divorce, during the divorce. So I could see how somebody might think that it is too choppy. So overall, I give the book, I would say 3.75, 4 stars. And I think it was good. It was a super quick listen. I think I listened to it in like 3 days. If you read the book, I would really love to know your thoughts, or if you plan to now read or listen to the book after you've watched this video, let me know.